component which really help us get over our stress and duress. So before we start, I want to show a small video that was taken by UNICEF. And like we have already explained in our previous presentation in the plan of action, the name symbolizes Aarohan, ascent. So this is a little small baby step towards helping or contributing to the, towards the bigger aspect of the problem of child labor and helping children.
130.
Being a small video given by UNICEF, our project basically aimed at both condemning child labor, at least taking a small step in educating the mass regarding this, and also a little step towards educating the child. We did not ever plan to open up a new NGO or start do something that everybody else is doing, but just a small initiative, as in each one of us, like each one teach one. So if each one of us would spare just 1 hour of our times in a week to educate or to help a child to learn ABCD, that is more than enough. That could be a real great contribution to our society. So let us come to the project background, and first let us know what is child labor. Now, International Labour Organization and UNICEF defines child labor as they can quantify child labor as in if a child between the age of 5 to 11 is putting in 28 hours of work every week, and a child who is from whose age ranges from 11 to 14 and is putting in an effort or work economic activity from 40 in the tune of 48 hours a week, that is termed as child labor. Even if that is a part-time work, even if that child is studying as well as working, this is still child labor. So apart from that, yes, this survey suggests that there have been many people who are certainly not working as child laborers, but still, these child we cannot call them like a survey said, just because they are not getting educated, we should still take that population into the child labor population. But no, that is also not the case. In rural India, where most of the population is illiterate, we have just 1 in 5. One teacher is teaching so many students, and the teachers do not turn up. The schools are mismanaged. So there is a complete vicious circle in the entire thing that is being running. And it is shocking to know that India has the highest number of child laborers in the world. 12.6 million people out of the total children population of 256 million. India is the highest. So our project Aarohan, like I said, was a little step towards bringing smiles for these innocent, upon the innocent faces of these children, and a little step towards leading India's future.
Today I will be briefing about the actions undertaken by our team Aarohan, and our project inception was on October 9, 2013, and we visited nearby villages like Malipada and Krishnapur and some of the suburban schools to inquire about the existing conditions about the child labor activities and how many children are not under the education literacy level. And we collected a meaningful data according to our research about the child literacy rate and the reasons why they are away from school. And we conducted some of the awareness programs and counseling sessions in these two villages, that is Krishnapur and Malipada, about right to education, and we taught them about the importance of education in our futures. And we also discussed with some of the NGOs and self-help groups for tie-ups, and negotiation with corporate bodies for funding of the financial activities and scholarship assistance for all the children in these two villages. And we discussed with state legislatures, particularly about women and child welfare department, school and mass education, and enlistment of all welfare programs, schemes, and legal disclosures. And these are the awareness programs that we have conducted in these 2 months, that is mostly in November and December first week. And we proposed a rally on the Sachivalaya Mark in Bhubaneswar, but for unavoidable reasons, plan has now been postponed to International Child Labour Day on June 13, 2014. And we conducted a small awareness campaign in Krishnapur as well as in Malipada to discuss about the importance of education in our futures, particularly in the children during the age between 5 to 15 years. And that we have done on November 14th on Children's Day. And we created an education awareness week of IMI on every Sunday. And the best part of this awareness campaign is all the seniors were supporting us in teaching some other activities to all the school children which are there nearby, like in Malipada, Krishnapur, and there is another school called SOS Village nearby of Gotapatna. So some of our seniors were helping us, and also some of our classmates. We were going to those schools on every Sunday, and we were teaching about one particular subject or an activity. And the reason behind choosing this particular day Sunday is because this is November and December is not a months for joining and taking up a new admissions into the course. So we came up with an idea because those people we identified as people, mothers to children, child labor, and they are not having enough money to survive about themselves. So they are having only time on Saturdays and Sundays. So Saturdays evening we are still in a plan to conduct these kind of events, but we are not having time to go there on Saturday. So Sunday we dedicated a full Sunday to teach some of the activities to all the students, so that they will be free and we will be free, and their work will not be disturbed during these 2 months particularly. And we distributed leaflets in the biggest crowd puller, that is Bali Yatra, and we invited entries for a slogan writing competition about education of girls, empowerment of community.
We conjoined this effort with other team members. It took the efforts from all the stakeholders and conducted this.
And
why did you take a picture of?
This is what we projected. We held this and we went to the villages. We showed this to the children.
We have conducted a small awareness camp in Krishnapur about the importance of education.
So we held basically not only education, but we were having counseling sessions or motivation sessions. I mean, we were playing with the kids and trying to engage them in some way or the other, so that they get motivated. We told them that we are in a post-graduation course, and this is what our lives have been. So we did both ways. I mean, teaching them 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as also motivating the children that this is what you can be. You also can. And this was, ma'am, I forwarded this mail to you also. So this was our proposal. We had drafted a complete proposal stating the paraphernalia required as well as the requisites and everything, and we have sent it to the director and the committees. So this is what we were planning, but then because of delay in getting the approvals from government and the agencies to stage a rally on that road, this is postponed to the International Child Labour Day, that is on June 12th. So then we will still continue with this project. So this has been something that we have entwined both our hearts and minds into it. I mean, this was not just a project for evaluation, but something that helped us realize what we are. And this is our page on Facebook. It has had 250 members. We have a group found this page and we keep on posting short blogs or news that is on child labor or new acts or legislations that are being passed. So anything and everything that is related to the welfare of children.
And these are some of our achievements by our team, and we proudly tell that we succeeded persuading two children to resume studies who had dropped out due to some reasons, like one was working as a domestic help in some construction company, and other victim was a girl, and she was not studying due to the gender discrimination, and they will rejoin academics in this March in next admission season, and we garnered support from the corporates to help children as part of their CSR activity.
I have talked to the General Secretary of Mahila Mandal, which is the CSR wing for Manati Goldfields, and they are really eager to support us in this venture of trying to do something for children.
That happens, then you will be proud. All your life you will think that yes, I have done something for the society.
And we had a successful tie-up with the Bubble Foundation, and one of our faculty members, Saurajita Panda, is helping us in tying up with activities. And we got an overwhelming support from social networking website that we are having more than around 240 members in our Aarohan group within these 2 months.
And ma'am, just for ensuring that these two children actually join from the next academic year, her name is Rija Kundur and Kujur, and another is Rajesh Kundur, right? So we have taken their phone numbers of one of their neighbors, and we will be pursuing them till they really can.
So coming to government initiative, before that I would like to tell you the purpose of including this in our presentation, which is that we still have children working at the age of 14, below the age of 14, we have children working in our homes, at our workplaces, but we still do not protest against it. So until unless we start acting against it, it won't stop. So in order to do that, we have to start at this point right now. So coming to government initiatives, the articles written in the Constitution also contains the data for child labor, which is that right to education. First, Article 21 says that right to education, that a child below the age of from 6 to 14 years has a right to education, and government has initiated some acts against it, and has initiated some things which have actually helped children for education, free education, like. And in Article 24, it is prohibition of employment of children in factories. In factories, hazardous and activities are there. So it is very essential that we keep our youngsters and children away from those activities, so that they don't harm their mental or physical development is harmed because of these activities. So in order to stop that, this article is stated in the Constitution itself. So Article 31 states that the states have in particular directed policy towards securing. It means that every child which is who is below the age of 14 years cannot be forced to have employment or to work if whether it is for economic necessity or whatever may be the reason, he cannot be forced into it. And one of the government initiative was midday meals, which was under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, and which was that providing free lunch to students on the working days for the primary and secondary schools, students studying there. So there were